In today's video, we'll see 7 of the craziest and most expensive cars owned by F1 king Sebastian Vettel. Have you ever seen his Ferrari lineup? Trust me, you're gonna be amazed. Let's start things off with Vettel's Ferrari F430, the one ride he refused to sell even after his messy breakup with Ferrari in 2020. Though he ditched most of his Ferraris after leaving the race team, he kept this one car as some souvenir. Let's check it out. Pumping 490 horsepower and 340 pounds-feet of torque is the F430's 4.3-liter V8, an engine so powerful that Ferrari adopted it for a lot of their other cars. The V8 is actually really incredible, doing 0 to 60 miles in just 3.6 seconds and maxing out at 196 miles per hour. Remember that time Seb got caught doing 140 on the Autobahn? Yeah, this was the ride. We'll love it if you give us a like and hit the subscribe button. Also share this clip with other car lovers and comment on the celebrity's garage you want us to do next. Now Vettel's F430 uses phantom black leather seats with carbon fiber trim, something you'll only see in an Aston Martin or something. For suspension, the Skyhook electronic suspension automatically adjusts to road conditions, which is actually real fancy. The rear diffuser was more or less borrowed from the legendary Enzo, while those vertical taillights you see glow are just like Northern Lights. Vettel actually bought this car for around $200,000 at least around that time, but today's F430s are climbing to the high sides of $300,000. Speaking of high sides and rides, wait until you see Vettel's Aston Martin Vantage AMR, Aston Martin's first 7-speed wheelie. After falling hard for his Ferrari F430, Sebastian Vettel got a new playboy of a car when he joined Aston Martin's F1 team in 2021. While this meant he had to spend more time on the tracks than with his family, there were a few good perks to it, one of which was him getting the keys to a Vantage Armarch without spending a single dollar. Just to emphasize how big a news this is, the Vantage Armarch was the most track-focused road car Aston Martin made back then, 10 times better than the F430. If you've ever asked how cool a V8 could be, get that this Vantage's V8, while being 0.3 liters smaller than that of the Ferrari F430, produces way more horsepower, 535 to be exact, and way more torque number. It doesn't even end there. By comparison, while Vettel's F430 has a max speed of 196, the AMR hits 230 like child's play. On the inside, it's just magic as well. Vettel's AMR uses much the same Alcantara covering the seats, doors, and steering wheel, like in the F430. The cockpit has a heavy amount of carbon fiber, though there were spots for F1-style toggles and a digital dash with displays for everything from tire temperatures to G-forces. While Vettel's own AMR was literally a priceless gift, Aston Martin sells regular models around $180,000 to $200,000. That the car is track-focused and is also limited in number means that you should expect its value to go up real fast. And come on, it's a damn Aston Martin. But how does this car compare to Vettel's Mercedes SL65 AMG? Let's find out. Seb's garage wouldn't be complete without some proper German muscle, so in 2009, after he won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for Red Bull, the race organizers handed him a Mercedes SL65 AMG Black Series. As it turns out, the Abu Dhabi sheikhs basically forgot about champagne celebrations and instead went for a more Qatar style of rewarding. Vettel never even had to write a check. Now the SL65 used a hand-built 6-liter twin-turbo V12 that gave out 670 horsepower and 738 pounds-feet of torque. What's crazy part is that the torque was so much that Mercedes had to dial back on it because of their 5-speed gear. Meanwhile, its 0 to 60 number is just 3.8 seconds and tops out at 200 miles per hour, just around the same values as Vettel's AMR. What's actually special about the Black Series, besides the whole tech gibberish, is that it uses AMG's performance package for the engine, packed with 3 different transmission modes: Sport, Manual 1, and Manual 2. Vettel once got pulled over in Autobahn in 2019 for doing 180, though he claimed he was testing the safety systems. Inside, Vettel's SL65 threw out all the luxury fluff in exchange for its performance vibes. The cockpit comes with custom one-piece Alcantara bucket seats designed specifically for his frame, and there was carbon fiber covering everywhere from the dashboard to door panels. The steering wheel also has AMG's dynamic select system, while the center console comes with a one-of-a-kind AMG speedometer that reads up to 220 miles per hour. I can't quite say, though, if the car can go more than that. For $350,000, you can get an SL65, and just to place the price a little higher, get that Mercedes removed the whole folding soft top and replaced it with a carbon fiber roof. Sadly, when Vettel decided to slim down his garage in 2021, this German vehicle was the very first to go. Actually, this was because he needed more space for his next car, the Aston Martin DBX. After trading his Mercedes SL65 AMG for something with a bit more family space, Vettel found himself behind the wheel of Aston Martin's first ever SUV when he joined the F1 team in 2021. Vettel joined Aston Martin from Ferrari for the 2021 season, and the company handed him the DBX both as his personal ride and as their promotional vehicle. You might remember when he took this on a spin in the Arctic for Aston Martin's promotional video in the winter before his F1 debut. The DBX is a speed demon, and with its 4-liter twin-turbo V8, it reaches a maximum speed around 193 miles per hour, 3 miles slower than Vettel's F430. The engine rides with 542 horsepower and 516 pounds-feet of torque, doing an easy 0 to 60 in just 3.1 seconds. Now just look at how wonderful it is on the inside. The interior of Vettel's DBX uses a 10.2-inch touchscreen, as with Aston Martin's latest software, a well-redesigned dashboard, and new steering wheel. There's also a 14-speaker audio set within the cabin, and the 12.3-inch digital dashboard glows like something from a sci-fi movie. Pretty cool for an Aston Martin. On a norm, the 2021 Aston Martin DBX started at $180,000, though Vettel's own model, customized by Aston Martin's Q service, is valued at around $220,000. Speaking of customizations, let's see how his DBX compares to his next ride, the head spinner Ferrari California T. So Seb got this absolutely stunning Ferrari California T back in 2014, the same year he got his F430. This wasn't a random buy though. He fell real hard for this particular Ferrari model, even though it only had a super short production run of just 3 years before Ferrari replaced it with the Portofino. Let's move on. Now for engine, it uses a 3.9-liter twin-turbo V8 that gives out 553 horsepower and a massive 557 pound-feet of torque, doing 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds and hitting 100 miles per hour in just 10.5 seconds, top speed of 197 miles per hour. Vettel's own California T comes with Harman's connected media infotainment mixed with Apple CarPlay for his phones. On the outside, Vettel's model is a total head spinner in its Rosso Mugello finish, thanks to the 250 Testarossa. The retractable hardtop is the smartest thing Ferrari thought of besides the engine, and there was the handling special package for Vettel, which includes a chrome front grille with darkened exhaust pipes to look a little crazed. Actually, the handling package was what made Vettel's model almost double the actual price. Oh, and just to be clear, the actual price is placed at $200,000. That's like someone's college fees. After getting his Aston Martin DBX and this Ferrari bad boy, it's no surprise that Vettel's next ride would be something more family-friendly. Let's talk about his custom Infinity FX Vettel edition that takes personalization to a whole new level. Back when Sebastian Vettel was crushing it with Red Bull Racing, Infinity saw an opportunity to do something really crazy, create a limited edition SUV designed by the 4-time F1 champion himself. Only 150 of these cars were ever made worldwide, and naturally Seb got the very first one. Now you see why I said almost all of his cars were gifts. For engine, there's a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 engine pumped up to 420 horsepower from the standard 390, and 383 pounds-feet of torque. This rides the wheels from 0 to 62 in just 5.6 seconds, with a top speed clinging on to 155 miles per hour. Not bad for what Vettel calls his grocery getter. Infiniti had to redesign the whole exhaust to sound like a proper race car, which apparently made Infiniti's Japanese executives cringe. But who cares? The seats are all wrapped in premium Alcantara with purple stitching, Infiniti's signature color, and there are laser-cut Vettel logos on the headrests. The car also uses a rear active steering for agility, plus all the standard Infiniti tech, including their infotainment, premium sound setup, and connectivity tech. On the outside, this thing looks like it escaped from a Formula One paddock. It has this amazing white paint with carbon fiber on the rear valance, rocker panels, mirror caps, grille slats, and front fascia. The front splitter copies Vettel's RB8 race car design, while the rear diffuser bears F1-inspired fog lights. The whole aerodynamic tech was developed with direct input from Red Bull Racing, and the package sits 20 millimeters lower than the standard FX, even with its stiffer suspension. With a price tag of around $125,000, this SUV wasn't cheap at all. While it might not be the fastest or fanciest car in Seb's garage, it still brings a touch of both worlds, his racing career and his family life. Speaking of racing, his next ride takes us way deeper into F1 with his 1993 McLaren MP 4.8, the proper single-seater that actually won championships. Sebastian Vettel's hands literally trembled the first time he gripped the steering wheel of Ayrton Senna's legendary 1993 McLaren MP 4.8. Unlike his previous rides like the Infinity Effects Vettel Edition, this wasn't about ownership, it was about honoring a legend. Vettel drove Senna's actual race-winning MP 4.8 at the 2024 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, marking 30 years since Senna's tragic death at the same Imola circuit. He wore racing overalls matching Senna's helmet colors and added both Senna's and Ratzenberger's helmet designs to his own. The four-time champion later admitted he was literally shouting their names while driving, completely overwhelmed by the moment. The MP 4.8 packs a 3.5-liter Ford V8 engine, producing around 700 horsepower, which sounds modest by today's standards, but was a real edge cutter in 1993. This beast could hit roughly 200 miles per hour on the straights, with torque figures around 400 pound-feet. The MP 4.8 was the first McLaren to feature barge boards, those aerodynamic fins that became standard in F1. The car used a semi-automatic gearbox that was revolutionary for its time. Drivers could shift without lifting their foot off the throttle, which was basically wizardry back then. Inside, forget any modern luxuries. This is pure racing heritage. A minimalist cockpit with analog gauges, basic switches, and that famous small steering wheel Senna gripped through Monaco's hairpins. No touchscreens, no infotainment, just raw mechanical feedback. The seat was custom molded for Senna's body, and the pedals positioned exactly to his preferences. Every surface was carbon fiber, every component stripped to essentials. The steering wheel had maybe a dozen buttons compared to today's F1 cars with their 30-plus controls. Externally, the MP 4.8 sports that unmistakable red and white Marlboro livery that defined the early 90s. This specific chassis was the one Senna used to claim his record-breaking 6th Monaco Grand Prix victory, making it automotive royalty. The car's sleek profile, with its distinctive nose cone and massive rear wing, represents the pinnacle of pre-aero regulation F1 design. Vettel's tribute runs at both Imola and other venues were deeply emotional experiences that left the normally composed German champion visibly moved. If you like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so we can update you on all our upcoming content. Also, comment what celebrity car collection you want us to do next. We'll catch you in the next one.